What's up everybody, SuperDorks fan here for another car review. This is of course the 2013 Scion FR-S Series 10. Huge thanks to Kenny for providing me this very nice FR-S to review for you guys today. So, the Series 10, as you can tell, it has a lot of the nice bits from the GT86 that most FR-Ss don't normally come with, such as the nice headlights there with the LED daytime running lights, and it has the illuminated badges too, which is a cool thing that the Series 10 has, especially this unique paint color, which is a very cool shade of silvery blue. And then on the inside there, you also have the passive door entry, so you don't have to, hit the unlock button, and it also has the nice, dual zone automatic climate control that you see in the BRZ Limited and in the overseas versions of the 86. And so, I think the Series 10 is a great package for those that want all the nice bits from the GT86 but can't get it here in America. This is really cool, and it's also limited edition, which adds to the cool factor as well. But the elephant in the room, this one's turbocharged. It has the PTuning turbo kit, as you can see from the prominent intercooler there in the front, and so this car should be a lot more fun than a regular FR-S. This one's doing 310 horsepower, the owner tells me, at the wheels, so should be very fast indeed, and looks great. I mean, the FR-Ss and the BRZs, it's still just such a classic and beautiful style that I don't think is ever going to go out of style. Just great proportions and a beautiful car all around. As for the interior of the FR-S Series 10, it's pretty nice. So first thing you notice is sitting down these seats, of course, which are magnificent. The BRZ and the FR-S share the same seats, and they all feel really great. They hug you so well. They're pretty comfortable too. They're not the most comfortable seats out there, but they are great for a daily driver. They are pretty nicely padded, and the bolsters are just perfect, especially for body types like myself, pretty thin, 5'9", hug me really well, but I think they hug just about all body types really well, and they're just really well done seats. Next is the steering wheel in the FR-S, which was always one of my favorite parts about my BRZ. They obviously are the same, and it's just awesome. The 9-3 grip is perfect. It has little cutouts here for your thumbs, so you just get an awesome 9-3 grip. Nice little 10 and 2 notches up here, and just a nice round wheel, leather wrapped. I like the red stitching, and just overall, basically a perfect wheel. Next is the gauges in the FR-S, which are very great. They're very purposeful in the way that they look. So you have your tachometer right there in the middle. You have a little digital speedometer, which is very cool. The analog speedometer on the left-hand side there, and then you have your other gauges on the right. And basic gauges don't give you anything more than the basic information, but again, this car is just about returning back to basics and a simple experience, and so that accomplishes that very well. Gives you everything you need, nothing you don't. Come along to the center of the dashboard here. Now this is where it varies from the standard FR-S, because you have the nice touchscreen navigation unit here, and then you also have the dual zone climate control, which is also nice, and the push button start, which is a very nice feature as well. But these Pioneer Scion head units are all pretty decent, nothing amazing, but they're good enough to get the job done. Again, most people don't buy an FR-S for the interior quality, so I'm sure most of you probably don't even care about this part, but it's nice to have the auto climate control, so you don't have to constantly be messing with it, and having the push button start is nice as well. So yeah, I mean, otherwise it's a nice interior. As far as storage space goes, you have little bottle holders here in the pockets of the doors. That's about it. You also will find your limited edition plaque in there. This one's number 1967 out of 2500 that they made. And then other storage space, you have this little tiny cubby here right underneath the climate control, and then you have a larger cubby here with this cup holder. The two cup holders you can move forward and backwards, and has a power outlet there as well, and that's basically it. But again, this is a small little car. It doesn't need a whole lot of storage. It's just supposed to be a sports car. And so as far as backseat space goes, that's also the same philosophy, where it's basically a two-seater car, because that backseat, I mean, if you have a passenger that can sit really far up, you could maybe fit someone of normal size back there, but anyone that's average height like myself, 5'9", you can't fit anyone behind you unless they're legless. It's pretty tough. So those seats are really only good for a really rough pinch. Otherwise, basically just have everyone else drive separately. So, but it's great because it keeps this car lightweight. That's the thing. These are very lightweight cars, and so those are the sacrifices that need to be made. Alright, so start up and go for a drive. The Series 10 has these nice little key fob. This one's wrapped in a little rubber cover, but, nice to have that. You just leave it in your pocket, though, put your foot in the clutch, and starts right up. Alright, so setting off in the 2013 Scion FR-S here with the PTuning turbo kit. So first thing, he has a stage 2 clutch in here, and it's really tricky. I've, recently driven other modified cars with even heavier and crazier clutches, but this one, it's it's a little hard to predict, I gotta say. I'm not used to aftermarket clutches too much, but this one's a little tricky. But anyway, so on this bumpy park road here, he has a stock suspension. He just has you know, some Bridgestone tires here that are a little bit stickier than regular, and we're running 245s in the back as well, so that'll help put the power down. But you know, being a stock suspension, it's pretty smooth. I mean, the FRS isn't the softest car, you know, it's definitely set up to be a sports car, but it's not bad at all. And I think, you know, I ideally drove mine for 2 years on the stock suspension, and it was great. So it's definitely livable, and overall it's great over bumps and stuff. All right, so we're on a straight road here, and you know, cars behind us. So let's just give it a little acceleration here and see how 310 horsepower to the wheels feels. Spooling, spooling. There it goes. Yeah. Okay, so it's quick, but it takes a little while to spool up there. It's not in the normal spot where it's like right in the front near where the airbox used to be. This one, it's actually lower. It's down there right behind the engine, and so it's a lot easier, you know, it's a lot more direct. And but it's funny, I don't have a boost gauge, by the way, so I'm just kind of guessing when it's gonna spool, but it takes a little while to spool up, but you get all the fun dramatic noises and the drama of just waiting for it to come on, and then when it does, it's just like, rah, just like explodes. It's great. I gotta say, it feels good to be back in an FRS. I miss my BRZ a lot sometimes, and this is really great. But you know, one thing that I was very similar to mine is, you know, with the louder exhaust and stuff, there are some rattles and things in this car, and he has the short throw shifter as well here, which has different bushings in the transmission and stuff, which make it a little bit noisier as well. And so it's definitely, you know, it feels like a tuner car. It feels like something that's been modified. Of course, it doesn't feel very factory, but I think that's the whole point of getting the turbo kit, is you're going for more than factory. But with this turbo, now it's a Garrett, he says a GT376R, I believe, and so I'm not too good when it comes to all these different turbos and different turbo kits, but it's a larger turbo than you get on some of the other kits that come for the FRS and BRZ. And so because of that, this basically almost feels like a stock car below 4,000 RPMs. Now, it will give you a little bit of help if you're, you know, mashing on the gas at, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs. It'll still be a little bit quicker than a stock BRZ or FRS would, but all the fun is had over 4,000 RPMs for sure. And with this tune that he has on this car, it's actually able to run up to 8,000 RPMs as well, which should make it a little more fun than the standard 7,400 redline of the regular FRS. Alrighty, so let's see about this power again, shall we? We're doing a little rolling first gear pull here, 2,000 RPMs. And yep. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, you get up to speed very quick indeed. I don't know any kind of 0 to 60 time, but to me that felt well under 5 seconds, and it's fun. Yeah, it's great just to let it wind all the way out, but it all comes in over 4,000. But I mean, these tires do a good job. It wasn't squirming too much, but now we're here on tighter back road, and does a pretty good job. These tires are really much stickier than I remember my BRZ tires ever being, but I had the factory Prius tires that were awful. But this is really handling well. I mean, still for being the stock suspension, we got stock brakes, but they still do a decent job. That's always something that can be improved. But yeah, here we are. That's 4,000, and that's when it comes alive. It just flies. You get the blow off and all the whooshing and turbo noises, and man, it's just all makes for a great experience. Wastegate flutter. And it doesn't want to step out too much either. Now, I only have it in the sport traction setting here. I didn't want to totally turn everything off because it's not my car, and I've never driven a turbo FRS before, so I wanted to stay conservative. But it handles so well, of course, still. But it still feels stock. I know as far as the handling goes, at least, it still feels stock. And that's the good thing, because I love the way that this car feels from the factory. I love the way that it handles. I love its playful attitude. And this, you know, it has the wider tires, but that doesn't kill all the fun. It doesn't stay totally stuck. You know, some other cars with really fat tires, it totally kills any chances of having any kind of oversteer and any kind of fun with the back end. But this, it's enough power that it kind of evens out, so you still have the playful character that you get with a stock car, but you have all the drama and excitement of the turbo. And I reviewed last year the supercharged, Innovate Supercharged FR-S, which was also very fun. That wasn't quite as much horsepower either, but that felt very factory in its power delivery. This does not. This feels clearly modified. There's no cars on the market today that make you wait till 4,000 RPMs for the turbo to kick in, but when it kicks, it's fun. It's really a fun experience, and I think this is definitely the way to go. You know, the superchargers are nice, and if you want a factory car, that's great, but this is, I think, more fun personally. And so, you know, if I had the chance to keep my BRZ or buy another BRZ in the future, I think I would definitely do a turbo kit, much like this one, if not this same one, because it definitely adds to the fun. I still wish there was a little more power down low. Maybe a little bit of a smaller turbo would be, you know, a little more effective for that. But just the way it is, though, it's really a great setup. It's really well behaved. You know, I mean, it gets a little twitchy, but it really does a great job putting the power down. So it's nothing to be scared of. You know, some of these kits, if you're running really skinny tires still, it can be a little dangerous. But this, it definitely, you know, instills a lot of confidence in the driver, and it just amplifies all the fun of the already fun stock FR-S. So really a great package. Got into the boost that time when I was mid-corner, and it still didn't step out of me too much. So yeah, definitely very predictable, and if you wanted even more sideways fun, you could go skinnier tires or less sticky, but I think this is really well set up the way that Kenny's done it here, and I think it just makes for such a fun car. So other thoughts about the FR-S here? Well, you know, with this shifter, it's a short throw shifter, and it's definitely firmer, more positive gear changes, and it's just shorter. You know, I mean, the standard FR-S gear shifters are kind of tall, and so it's nice to have the shorter shift. This clutch, now that I've kind of gotten used to it, it's still a little rough sometimes. It's not still 100% predictable. Sometimes it works how I'm expecting it to, and I can do it smoothly. Other times it's still a little tricky, but that's just the nature with aftermarket clutches. It's definitely not going to be as easy to drive as factory. But I mean, overall, this turbo kit is exactly what this car needed. I mean, it's still, like I said, like, you know, this one's even still on the stock suspension, and it's fine. It's perfect. It doesn't really need any improvements in that area. It just, I always felt like it needed more power, and now it has more power. It's got all the fun sounds that go along with it too. And so overall, it's just, I think it makes this car a home run now. I mean, pinch in the back of your seat, especially over 5. Another thing worth noting is this is the PTuning exhaust as well, and paired with the unequal length headers on this car, it sounds great. You know, you have that classic Subi rumble that everyone loves, and it sounds great. Now, you know, like the SRT header back exhaust I used to have on my BRZ droned a lot. This is a lot more tolerable. It's still pretty loud, but it doesn't have all those negative side effects that some of the other ones do. I think that, I mean, if it does drone, it's very slight and totally manageable. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is, like I said, this is definitely what I think is the best way to go for the FR-S and the BRZ. Some kind of forced induction. I mean, the supercharger is fun too, but I think the turbo is just more dramatic. It's less predictable, so if you like predictability, I think the supercharger is the way to go. But for those that just want fun and craziness, I think this turbo is definitely the ticket. All right, so we'll do one more low acceleration for you guys here. Time to slow it down. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Huge thanks to Kenny for allowing me to review his car again today. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care. I totally grinded second gear. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. It happens to me too all the time.